The story goes like when Bill Gates' father asked Warren Buffett and Bill Gates to write that one key skill that played the most important role in their success, without knowing what the other wrote, both people wrote down one word, and that was focus. When Leonardo da Vinci painted, there were days he showed up in the morning and he won't leave till dark. And in between, he was so focused and concentrated that he won't even put his paintbrush down to eat or to drink water. And then there were days when he will just stand in front of his paintings and just look at them. He will wander through the streets looking at faces, looking at emotions, so he can come back and draw those things. Focus. What is focus? We get to hear that word all the time, concentrate. Like we get to hear this from our teachers, from our friends, from our parents, society, that focus. So what is focus? What makes it so special? The concentration. This world of distraction where we're living in right now, with all these things bombarding, all these thoughts coming through, all these things happening around us. How do we focus? How do we stay concentrated to the task? My teacher, I remember from early childhood, my math teacher, I remember his one sentence. He always told us, he was like, when you're solving math problems, you should be so focused on the problem and its solution that if someone comes and steals your shoe, you must not know about it. So focus, extremely important. This is a skill, it's a muscle that can be developed. The more we practice it, the better we get at it. There are different, you have articles, different forums, blogs, videos telling you different methods and ways to focus, to concentrate more. I'm going to emphasize on a few of the tried methods here. Hopefully this will help you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Go one by one. How to stay focused. So the number one most important thing in my opinion is one thing at a time. We get to hear the word multitasking all the time. People carry that as a badge of honor. They'll love to tell you that they're multitasking people. Companies will hire you at the job interview. You will get to ask if you can do multitasking. But what is the reality of multitasking? How effective that thing is? One person be able to do all these things at the same time. Now, researchers, the studies show that there's only 2% people in the world that can actually multitask. And those people, their brains are wired differently, and it's at such a distance from a normal human that you can compare it literally to an animal and a human. So the wiring for multitasking people is completely different. That 2% and the 98% that are not, that are trying to become multitasker or super tasker, what they call it. How does that work? So when we try to multitask and we are not, our brain is not wired for it, what we end up doing is just going from one task to another task to another task. So if you calculate the time, and you can do this experiment at home too, the 2-3 things that you do that you think that you are able to multitask, try to do them one by one in priority list, and then try to do them, all 3 of them at the same time, and try to, have that time on the side to see which one you're doing better. I assure you, more than likely you will spend at least double the time in doing those 3 things, at the same time, compared to while you will take them as a priority and solve them one by one. So one thing at a time. We must make sure that we are not getting ourselves involved in trying to rush into everything. What happens with that is a lot of studies also show, like you can in the meetings, if you're writing something, you're also you're texting people. 2 to 3% of if there are 5 people in the meeting, 2 of them literally reported that they don't remember half the conversation that happened in the meeting because they were busy in doing something else. So staying away from multitasking, concentrating on that one portion, that one task that in front of it, not only allows us to make less mistakes, but we can also improve the efficiency over time. So arranging them the way putting them in a priority and solving them one by one will save us a lot of time, help us stay focused at the one task, and become more effective over time. So try not to do multitasking, try not to practice yourself. Instead, try to do a unique task at a time. Try to make a priority list, start one by one. If you have a to-do list next day, try to make it a night ahead or in the morning. Try to set your routine and try to focus on that one thing at a time.